Good morning. Welcome. Coming to you from a little bit of snow today in Vermont. Not a lot. We have a special guest in studio with us today. So if I turn my head away from the camera, I'm looking at our special guest. You don't know who she is. She's a surprise guest. Anyway, we're going to get started. Today's focus is on rooting to rise. So we're going to spend a lot of time finding our foundations. And flow into Warrior 2. So whether you're a beginner or experienced, doesn't really matter. It's just yoga. Remember, it is your practice, not mine. I am your guide. So let's find a comfortable seat, if that means you're on a block or on a cushion or whatever. You're going to sit up nice and tall, scoop the belly in, and tilt your tailbone down. I recommend you sit on a block. If you are on a block or a cushion, you're going to scoot your sitting bones forward to the edge. There we go. We have a nice tall spine. We imagine maybe that there's a straw inside the spine. And maybe you close the eyes gently and you start to breathe a little more deeply. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out fully. Using the nostrils, aware of the sort of sipping feeling of the air coming in and out of that straw that's in the middle of your spine. We're going to alter the breath. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth with some sound. Breathing in deeply. Open your mouth, let it go. 2 more of those. Beautiful. Return to your natural breath and see what feels different. Maybe you feel a little bit more open in the lungs or the chest. Maybe the belly feels a little stronger. Maybe the shoulders melted away from your ears. Take a moment to experience this. And notice any part of your body that today maybe could use a little extra love. Maybe it's feeling, a little tight or a little sore. Now bring your attention to some part of the body that is really feeling like it's doing what you expect it to do today. Maybe that's your mind or your breath. Maybe it's your eyes. Maybe some space feels really nice and open. Drop your hands by your sides. On an inhale, lift the arms forward and then up overhead. Face the palms forward. Exhale, slowly lower the arms. You're reaching, but you're drawing the shoulder blades a little bit together. Palms up, lift, breath in. Palms forward, arms down, breath out. One more time, palms up, lift, breath in. Palms forward, arms down. I'm going to take that to the sides, palms up, lift the arms outward, and then up over the shoulders. Face the palms out and slowly lower them out and down. 2 more of those. Lifting with the breath and the arms. And releasing. One final time. This time we're going to lift the arms and press the palms together overhead. Really press the heels of the hands together all the way to the fingertips and then lift from the top of the pelvis to the sternum, the breastbone. See if you can relax the shoulders a little bit. Take a big breath in. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart. Consider now maybe an intention or a dedication or what brought you to your mat. Let that roll around in your head, in your mouth, in your heart. We're going to celebrate that. We're going to create the foundation for our practice with that by chanting a single Om. Although if you prefer not to chant, perfectly fine. Just imagine Om kind of coming out with your breath. We're going to take a long, huge breath in to do so. Make your way into a child's pose. We're going to come face down, removing any props. Knees are nice and wide. Your big toes touch. And your head is resting on something. So if it resists coming to the mat, use a prop. Props help us bring the floor closer. Arms long in front. Fingers nice and wide. Feel the texture of the mat on the tops of the feet. Reach those sitting bones toward your heels and reach the shoulders and arms and hands and chest forward. Big, huge breath in and a generous breath out. Lift the wrists off the mat so you're on your fingertips. Walk the hands forward just a little bit without shifting the hips forward. And take a breath in. As you exhale, the hands walk all the way to the right. Maybe the back of the left hand comes to the palm of the left hand comes to the back of the right. Stretch the left side of the body. Rib cage opens up. Inhale, let the hands crawl back to center, and as you breathe out, they walk to the opposite side. Maybe off the mat, maybe not. Crawl the hands forward. Draw your way into a tabletop. You're going to bring your wrists right under your shoulders, your knees right under your hips, tops of the feet on the mat, fingers wide. Imagine you're palming a basketball. Maybe you've never done that. I certainly have not. But it's kind of like your hand is doing a little push-up, so you're lifting the center of the palm off the earth. Beautiful. Bring your knees a little closer together. Very good. We're going to take some cats and cows, or maybe rolling cats and cows, or hip circles, any kind of movement that the body might be asking for right now. So if your cat and cow, breath out is your cat shape. Look at your navel, breath in is your cow shape. Check where the shoulders are. We're going to move into a neutral spine, meaning the belly button is moving toward the spine and your tailbone is a little bit tucked. I'm going to stretch the right leg off the mat. Stretch the left arm off the mat, not the left leg. That would be kind of cool. On an exhale, knee and elbow draw together. By the way, you can always bring your hand to the mat and bring your knee to your nose instead. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, elbow and knee together. Breathe in and lengthen. One more time, we're going to take a round of breath, scooped up in like we are. Lift that knee, drop the head. Inhale, lengthen out. Keep the leg lifted, draw the left hand to the mat. Peek over your left shoulder. Sweep the right leg above your left calf, and then drop the top of the foot onto the earth. Scoot the front of your right hip toward your left heel. So you're gliding backward into the left. You can come to your forearms. If you're not feeling a lot, which I am, you can tuck your right toes under, lift the right knee from the floor, and then shift your right heel backward a little bit more. That's a sweet opening all along the IT band, the left glutes. Return to your three-legged tabletop. Draw the right knee above the right elbow. Inhale, lengthen out, and drop your knee to the mat. If you need a wiggle waggle, take it. Cat cow, hip circles, doesn't matter. Find your way back to your neutral tabletop. So we're not arched and we're not rounded. We are neutral. Left leg floats. Right arm floats. We pause for power, squaring up the hips. Nose is pointing right toward your mat. Knee and elbow draw together. Extend them back out. Knee to elbow. Lengthen up. And again. We drop the right hand, peek over the right shoulder, sweep the left leg over the right, drop the shoelace side of the foot to the earth, and then glide the front of the left hip toward the right heel. If you're like me, hitting a wall, you find your way. An actual wall. Forearm to the earth. Forearms to the earth. Challenge it up. Left toes under. Float the left knee off the mat. Reach the left heel backward, backward, backward. Return to your three-legged tabletop. Square your hips. Knee draws above the left elbow. Extend. Knee returns to the mat. Hands walk forward 2 to 3 inches. Tuck your toes under, scoop your belly in, and really slowly on a breath out, press the hips toward the sky. Downward dog. You might pedal things out. It's cold or you've had a temperature change in your location. You might have some crickles and crackles. That's just air in the joints releasing. And if your heels don't reach the ground, no biggie. If your knees need to be bent, allow that to happen. Draw your chest toward the thighs. Breathe in on the tiptoes. Stay on your tiptoes. Press your chest toward your thighs. Look past your hands and tiptoe through the tulips all the way to the front of your mat. Forward fold. You can soften your knees once you get there. If you like a bind, like a rag doll or something else, feel free to take it. Nod your head. Shake your head. It's a boulder on a bungee cord. We're going to keep, if you're not in a rag doll, go ahead and find rag doll, bending your elbows and cupping one in each hand. We're going to keep this shape, allowing the elbows to help the top of the body stay heavy as we start to roll up to standing. So we're grounding through the feet, powering up the thighs, stacking the hips over the knees, using the belly to now lift even more of the torso, shoulders stack over the hips. As the head comes up, the forearms come over the head. Might need to make a little bit more space. Shift the toes off the mat, spread them wide. Starting with your pinky toes, bring them back to the mat one at a time. We're going to take a little tilt on a breath out over to the right. So you're finding like an I'm little teapot sort of thing. A breath in, we lift up, and an exhale, we tilt to the other side, opening up the right side of the body. As we lift up, the arms release high, maybe like you're tickling the stars. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samastiki. Mountain pose, hands drop by your sides, eyes might close, palms face forward, shrug the shoulders up to the ears, breath in. Press them behind you and release them, breath out. Draw the belly slightly in, maybe a soft bend in your knees. You don't want them to be locked on an inhale, arms wide and high overhead. Sunset, fold over your legs. Knees might soften. Glide your hands to your shins. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Long spine, belly in, shoulders toward your hips. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise all the way to standing, sunrise. Or maybe we're like a plant, lifting up and reaching toward the sun. Exhale, hands through the heart, forward fold. Uttanasana. Again, half lift, hands to the shins, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, sunrise. These are our sun salutation A. This time we're going to exhale and bring our arms into a cactus shape. Fingers like you mean it. Imagine you're making more space between your elbows. Drop your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers or hook them. Keep your elbows bent to start so you can draw the belly in and lift the heart all the way from the pelvis up through the throat, and then guide the knuckles down. Longer arms, you're going to sit into a modified chair pose. Is that all right for your knee? Okay. The energy is in your heels. We're not skiing. We are sitting. We're going to find a fold, keeping our bind, fold over the legs. Maybe your hands bound up, float from your spine. Maybe they do not. Maybe move a little into one shoulder and then the other, finding some yummy spots. Exhale, release the hands to the earth. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Step back, high plank. Rock a little forward and backward in your plank. Shoulders over the wrists. See if you can switch a little weight into the right hand and touch the right shoulder with your left hand. Bring your left hand down. Touch the left shoulder with your right hand. Whoa, that one's harder. And bring your right hand down. Drop your knees. Nose, chin, chest to the earth. A little baby back bend into a cobra. The wrists are under the shoulders so you don't have to come deep. Press the belly button toward the spine and the hips toward the mat. Exhale, come down to the earth. Take another baby cobra, lifting up from the belly, opening the heart and the shoulders. Exhale all the way down to the mat. One more time, baby cobra, or deeper if you like. I have low back mechanical issues, so I don't go that deep. Exhale down to the mat. Tuck your toes under, maybe through a high plank or a tabletop. We move back to downward facing dog. 3 beautiful breaths in the nose and out the mouth. Rise to the tiptoes this time. Bend the knees a lot. Bring the belly to the thighs. Look past your hands and walk to them. A forward fold once again at the front of your mat. Feet parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sit into chair pose, dropping the seat, floating the arms up overhead. Imagine you have a block between your knees and the thighs are spinning toward each other. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Step back, high plank. Low plank, knees could be down if need be. Elbows in. Switch to your upward dog or your cobra. And a downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Rise back to the tiptoes, bend the knees, look past your hands, walk to them for a forward fold once again. We're going to rise all the way to standing. Exhale, sit into your chair. I'm just going to pop over to the heater and turn it off because it's kind of hot. Stay in chair. We're going to take a twist. Right arm forward, left arm behind. So you're in your chair pose, east-west pose. Gaze is over your left thumb. Belly in. Inhale, come through to center, arms forward, lock them back into your shoulders. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, forward, lift all the way up to standing. Breathe out, forward fold. Halfway lift. And a forward fold. Left foot glides to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. You want your right knee right over your right ankle. A nice powerful left leg. Left hand down, right arm high for a twist. Watch that your left heel doesn't drop out to the left. Big toe mound of the right foot pressed to the earth. Right hand down, drop your back knee. You can fold over your mat or bring your blanket to it if you need to. Hands on your thigh. Anjaneyasana. We're starting to open up the left psoas, hip flexor. We're going to sink a little into the front knee, and then lift the arms overhead. Cactus shape arms. If you're wobbly, the right foot moves out to the right. Eagle arms, right elbow underneath the left. One wrap or two, doesn't matter. Elbows lift. Start to sink a little deeper into the front knee, or you find a bit more space. Imagine you're tractioning the right heel backward and the left knee forward. We're going to humble this low lunge. Hands frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes under. Lift the hips. Straighten your front leg. And then hike your back foot partway up your mat for Parsvottanasana. Both legs straight if they can be, but front knee bent if it needs it. Loosen the head. This is your pyramid. The pyramid is the strongest foundation that can be created. Left foot steps up to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Breathe out for your fold. Right foot glides to the back of the mat. Runner's lunge. Set yourself up. You know where this is going. Not that we want to anticipate, but you know where you need balance and power. Right hand down, left arm high twist. Twisting from the navel, not the shoulder. Nice. Press the big toe mound of the left foot to the earth. Fingers like you mean it. Exhale, left hand meets the mat, right knee meets the mat, shoulders over the hips, Anjaneyasana. Shoulders away from the ears, arms up overhead. Lifting from the pelvis to the breastbone, tucking the tailbone, squeezing those right glutes, cactus shape arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Really feel that working for you. Left elbow under right eagle arms. They lift, elbows lift shoulder height, and humble your low lunge. Hands frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes under. Lift that knee off the mat. Shorten your stance. Parsvottanasana. Blocks help the ground come a little closer so you can take some of the stress out of your low back. It's as if your left thigh is spinning outward and back. Your right knee should be straight but not locked. Step forward. Utkatasana, chair pose. I know, Karen. Why do you love Utkatasana so much? Because it sounds so cool. Utkatasana. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold. We're going to take runner's lunge again. Left foot to the back of the mat. For those of you who have practiced with me before, you might be familiar with this sequence as we find our way into Warrior Two, piece by piece, shape by shape. Imagine your belly is floating from your thigh, even though, like me, it might not be. We're going to hover over the thigh with the hands by the sides, the palms face down. You are like a beautiful statue on the bow of a ship. I'm sure there's a word for those. I don't know what it is. We're going to now lift up into crescent. If you feel wobbly, right foot moves out to the right. Crescent warrior, beautiful. We're going to bring the arms forward, lock them back into the shoulders, take a big breath in. On a breath out, Warrior Two, back foot comes parallel to the back of the mat, arms open up. Nice. Palms can face down, your gaze is over your middle right finger. Right knee, take a peek down. You shouldn't be able to see all of your toes, but you should be able to see one or two. Big toe, second toe. Right knee directly over the right ankle. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Yep. Bend your front knee. There you go. Press energy into the outer edge of your left foot and draw your belly in. Yeah. Warrior 2. Reverse it again. Power up that back leg. Power up your quad. Lift your right heel off the mat and sink into your front knee. Oh yeah. Bring your right heel down. Keep those right glutes working for you, but don't forget to power up the back leg. Warrior 2. We're going to take a side angle, right forearm inside the right thigh. Left arm sweeps so the bicep is over your ear. Rise back to Warrior 2. Draw your hands to your hips. Straighten your front leg and pivot on your right heel so both sets of toes face the long edge of your mat. You might need to shift for alignment. We're going to take a wide-legged fold, starting with a halfway down. Nice, strong, long back, shoulders toward the hips, sitting bones away from you. Exhale all the way to the mat. Loosen your head. Maybe a little walk of the hands over to the right foot. Maybe over to the left foot. Maybe back to the center. Lift halfway up. Exhale, fold, rooting the feet into the earth. Imagine that the feet are actually growing roots, gathering up all the beautiful energy, the minerals, the wonderfulness of the soil, the moisture and warmth. And that is pressing the heels and the balls of the feet into the ground, allowing that energy to move up the legs and lift the hips. We're going to pivot on both feet so that you're on the ball of the back foot, the left foot, and the right foot faces forward. Hands are inside your right foot. Walk your right foot way to the right, maybe all the way to the edge of your mat. And point your toes on the right foot outward. Lizard twist, right hand inside your right thigh. Press the knee away and down. You're welcome to drop your back knee and or to take a quad stretch here. We bring the right hand down. We bring the left foot down if it's up. Tuck your left toes. Point your right toes forward. A wide-legged forward fold at the front of your mat. So the hands are inside your feet. Feet are still parallel to the outer edge of the mat. We're going to take a wide-legged yogi toe lock. So your peace fingers come inside your big toes. Thumbs rest on the tip of the toes. We lift up halfway. Hips up, belly in, shoulders back. Breathe out, bend your elbows left and right, and draw your chest closer to your thighs. Release your hands to the mat, heel toe the feet closer in so they're bony hips distance. Lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Right foot glides to the back of the mat. We move back to a runner's lunge. I like to be on my fingertops here, so that gives me a little bit more of that energy from the heart lifting forward and up. Power up your back leg. Sturdiness in the front. Hover over your left thigh. Lift up, crescent warrior. Super strong in those right glutes. Arms forward. Lock them into your shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breath in. Warrior 2, breath out. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Sweet bend in your front knee. Palms face down. Look down at your toes. You don't want to see all of them, so you might need to adjust your stance. There we go. Front palm flips. It lifts up. Reverse your warrior. Warrior two. Left heel lifts off the mat. Sink deeper into your front knee. Bring that heel down. Front palm flips, reverse. Belly in, glute strong, warrior two. Side angle, left arm inside your thigh, right arm sweeps around so the bicep is over your right ear. You want a beautiful long line of energy from the outer line of the left foot all the way to your left pinky finger. Warrior two. Hands to your hips, lengthen your front leg. Dial the left toes to the long edge of the mat. Adjust your stance if need be so you're aligned. Hips are square to the side of the mat. Hands on your hips. Pivot on the balls of the feet so the heels draw in. And bend your knees over your ankles toward your middle toes. Tuck your tailbone. Soften your shoulders. Goddess pose, arms in cactus. Rise up, five-pointed star. We'll take a power mudra, hand gesture. So we're going to squeeze the thumbs. Thumbs remain out of what is a fist that you create with your fingers. So it's sort of like a thumbs up. Lift up to the balls of the feet. Sink your knees out and your tailbone down. Keep your mudra, your hand gesture, cactus shape in the arms. Tuck your tailbone. Lift the right heel off the mat, sink deeper. Stay low, draw the heel down. Lift the left heel off the mat, sink deeper. Stay low, bring the left heel down. Guess what happens next? Both heels, you got this. Keep that tailbone down, the belly strong, sink a little bit. Keep going and bring your heels down, stay low. Inhale, lift up, five-pointed star, woo! Exhale, hands to your hips. Pivot on both feet so you're facing the front of the mat. We're going to bend the front knee, bring the hands inside the left foot, and heel toe the left foot out to the left. You did it. Left toes point outward. Left hand inside your left thigh. Press that leg away and back. Maybe dropping your back knee, maybe not. Maybe taking a quad stretch, maybe not. Both hands inside your left foot. We're going to move into a prayer squat. So make sure that left foot is way out to the left and point the toes out. And then pop your right foot outside your right hand. I say we're taking a squat. Let's see how we do. Hands at your heart, elbows inside your knees, tailbone tucked, long spine. Hands to the mat, lift your hips, forward fold, toes point forward. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Heel toe your feet closer to one another. We're going to move back to downward dog. Your choice, whether you take the entire set of poses for the vinyasa or you go right there. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back, high plank. You might stay here. You might go right to down dog, or maybe you move into a low plank, knees down or not. A back bend. And a downward facing dog. Three beautiful breaths. Peel your heart forward, high plank. Float your right leg up, stay in your plank, cross your ankles. Scoot the shoulders forward and back. Use the heels, use the wrists, use the belly. Unhook. Left leg floats. Hook your ankles. Forward and back. Unhook. Come all the way down to the mat. Nose, chin, chest. If you have low back issues, you're going to separate your feet and spread them a little bit wider. Draw your forearms to the mat so the elbows are underneath your shoulders. Taking Sphinx. Sphinx. Palms are on the mat as much as possible. You're tractioning the hands and the forearms backward. You're lifting the navel from the mat and shifting your hips forward. It's almost as if you're connected to the earth at the hip bone and the forearm and the tops of the feet. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Let that collarbone smile. Come all the way down to the mat. Bring your elbows wide so your arms are outside the mat. Drop your forehead to the earth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Turn your head to one side and press that ear into the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come through center on a breath in and then plant the opposite side of your face to the earth. Breathe in and breathe out. If your head is not turned to the left, turn it to the left. Place your left palm on the mat under your left shoulder, just outside your chest. We're going to roll onto the right side, pressing into the left hand. Your head might lift off the earth. And either stack your legs or sweep the left leg back. You might even bend that left leg. You might do something else. Opening up the right side of the chest and the shoulder. On an exhale, come back to center. Drop your forehead to the earth. Arms back in cactus. Head looks to the right. Right palm under the right shoulder. Then we roll on to the left side, taking the stretch to the other way. On an exhale, roll back to center, drop the forehead there. Hands under the shoulders, your choice, upward dog or cobra. Shoulders move away from the ears, belly button in, hips down. If you're squeezing your glutes a lot, loosen them up. Exhale all the way to the mat and move into a child's pose. Your knees can be wide or narrow. Sitting bones draw back toward the heels. Forehead to the earth. Arms can be long in front. Or if you're in Balasana 1 with the knees together, the top of the head is on the earth and the hands sweep around behind you. Rabbit pose. Hands plant under the shoulders. Rise up, find your way to a seat. We're going to work our way into a twist, using our feet to support us. We're going to take the right heel and place it underneath the left thigh. The closer you can get it to your glutes, the better. You're welcome to keep your left knee bent and the left heel in front of the right ankle, or cross the left ankle outside the right thigh. Your choice. It's a little pretzel.
It's going to be a little limited.
Yeah, do what you need to do. We're going to take a twist over to the left shoulder. Breathe in, long spine. Breathe out, twist. In, long spine. And out twist. One more time. Return front and center. Bring your hands behind you. Shift onto your sacrum and switch that up. Left heel underneath the right thigh. Right ankle outside the left thigh. You're working to get that front foot as flat on the ground as possible. You might not make it there. Right hand behind you. We lift tall and breathe out for the twist. Return front and center this time. Extend the right leg on the earth and take the sole of the left foot and place it inside the right thigh. Sit up really tall. We're going to move into Janu Shirshasana, which we often think of as head to knee pose, head to knee. It's actually head of the knee toward the floor. So we're going to face the center of the chest toward the right knee, lift the spine, reach the arms in front, lock them in your shoulders, inhale. Exhale, shift from the hips forward. Imagine you're just kind of reaching to something that is past your foot, but your toes are peeling in toward your body. Breathe in. Exhale, shift again. Draw that belly in. One more time. And then the hands can drop. It doesn't matter how close the head gets to the shin or whatever, but think about the heart reaching toward the ankle or the toes. Working to stretch out the hamstrings, but also the left hip, and stay nice and long and strong in the spine. On a breath out, strengthen the belly and lift to your seat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Your choice to have a large diamond inside the legs or a small diamond inside the legs. If you have a large diamond, you might scoot your hands underneath your ankles, press them to your ankles, and then round your spine. Or if you have a small diamond, so that was starfish pose, Baddha Konasana, thumbs inside the arches of the feet, and you peel open the feet. It's a really nice stretch for the feet and a nice opening for the hips. Head is loose. Breathe in. Breathe out. On a breath out, rise back up. This time the left leg long. Sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Face the middle of your chest toward your left knee. You might have a little bend in that knee if you're tight in the hammies. Arms in front. Lock them in. Breathe in. Lift the heart. Exhale. Shift forward. Inhale. And shift. And one more time. Hands can drop. Head can drop. It's as if you're dragging that left heel backwards, squaring the hips to help open up the right hip and lengthen the left hamstrings. Breath out, rise to your seat. Paschimottanasana, our double-legged seated forward fold. The heels toward the front of the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe a smoochy bend in your knees. We'll do the same thing with the arms. Lock them into the shoulders. Breathe in. And reach forward from the hips, the heart toward the bottoms of the feet. Hands can drop. Nice long spine. Breath out lifts you upright, soles of the feet to the mat. Arms forward. Lift your heart. Draw your belly in. On an exhale, slowly unroll all the way to the mat. Shifting forward if need be. Arms overhead, legs long on the mat. Hook your thumbs, spread your fingers like peacock feathers, and breathe in. Reach. Breathe out, let it all go. I'm going to go ahead and bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. Shift your hips to the left and drop your knees to the right. You're welcome to stack your legs, scissor the legs, or draw the right heel outside the left knee. Arms flop outward, palms up, and the gaze is over the left shoulder. Breathe in. Let it go. Feel all the parts of the body that are connected to the earth, especially the shoulder blades. We prefer, for the wellness of the physical being, the shoulders to be on the mat as opposed to you being in a deep twist. Soles of the feet back to the mat. This time we shift the hips over to the right. A little extra because I got to move through center and then off to the right. Knees will drop to the left. Arms outward, palms up. I'll look over the right shoulder. Breathe in and out. Return the entire length of the spine back to the mat. Shift yourself so the hips are squared up, aligned with your shoulders. So spine as straight as it would normally be. And you're welcome to take a happy baby or legs up the wall. I'm going to move into legs up the wall. So the hands underneath the low back, palms down, knees to your chest, legs extend toward the sky, and alternating between pointing the toes toward the ground and the toes toward the sky. Shoulder blades kissing the mat. Ankle circles if you like them. And wherever you are, you're going to settle in for Shavasana. Finding the Shavasana that suits you. You might bring actual legs up the wall, shifting off your mat if need be, or Supta Baddha Konasana, or extend the legs onto the mat. Something under the knees if you need it. Space between your feet. Palms face up. Huge breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. You let everything soften and meld. This opportunity for Shavasana, which prepares us for the next stage of our life. No effort. Gently bring your awareness back to your human form on the mat, starting to feel the pressure, the connection of the air and the body on the ground. Deepen the breath. And in so doing, allow the breath to invite movement back into the body. Maybe just with the toes and the fingers to start. The feet and the hands, the ankles and wrists. Eventually, the knees can bend. And you roll onto one side. Doesn't matter which one. Whichever one suits you today. And here, a moment of gratitude for yourself. You found your way to your mat. Something to be grateful for. And return your mind, your awareness to your intention or your dedication or your motivation. And consider that even if you never thought of that through the rest of the practice after you set that to start, that it's still there. It will walk with you today. So now think about what you might take off the mat and into the world. And using your top hand, keeping your eyes closed, press yourself up to a seat. If you crossed your legs in the manner that you naturally do, maybe you shift them the other way. Draw your palms together at your heart like they have found their home there. Take a big breath in. A full breath out. We'll close practice as we began it with a chant of Om. This time the Om allows us to spread the merits of the practice, our intentions, our dedications outward, either to specific beings or maybe to all beings. No need to chant if you prefer not to, but feel free to join me even in breath. We're going to breathe all the air away from the lungs. Inhale generously. The knuckles connect right at your center forehead. Life is precious. Nothing is permanent. What goes around comes around when you cultivate, grows. Suffering is the human condition. It can be minimized and even eliminated by cultivating the positive. We honor one another, bowing and saying, Namaste. Thank you all for sharing your beautiful practices today. It was good to have you here. If you're watching this recorded, remember it's live on Saturdays at 10 a.m. And there are well over 100 recordings that are generally pretty obvious in their title. If you feel the need to watch a recording, if you can't manage to get to your mat live or to a class live, it's an opportunity. Even if you only practice for 5 minutes, it is your practice and brings a bit kinder you into the world. I'm Karen. If you have funds, great, donate. If you don't, I'm also here for you, and I would love to see you live soon. Thank you. Have a great day.